UFC 288 has just concluded, and it must be said that it was one of the worst main cards that the UFC had put on for a long time. It was boring for the most part, apart from the knockout of Jessica Andrade by Xionan. That was probably the only highlight in the main card, which was otherwise pretty flat. Kron Gracie opened the card with Charles Jourdain, and it pretty much set up what the entire night was going to look like. Pretty boring. Kron Gracie might be the most incomplete young fighter in the UFC. It looked as if he was 20 years behind, and the fight game has passed him by. Pulling guard time and time again during the fight, letting his opponent get on top of him, he looked lost in the octagon. Even the crowd booed him for his lack of intent and fight. In the co-main event, it was Belal, remember the name, Muhammad versus Gilbert Burns. The winner getting a guaranteed shot at the welterweight title. It was a big gamble for Burns as it was his third fight in just over 3 months, and that too against a game opponent like Belal. Belal Muhammad has been undervalued and overlooked by the UFC for far too long, and finally he was getting his chance at a title shot. So he was extra motivated, and it showed in the performance. He beat Gilbert from pillar to post for 5 rounds straight. His stance switch from the beginning of the fight confused Burns, and his left kicks to the body and right hand of Burns split dividends throughout the fight. Burns had no answer. His team hadn't prepared Belal being southpaw, and it showed in Burns' inability to adjust his game accordingly. He tried to take Belal down and injured his left shoulder. The fight was pretty much done there. It was also evident that Belal is a strong welterweight. Burns felt his shots all night long and he was overwhelmed by them. Belal now has to wait for the winner of Leon Edwards vs Colby Covington to get his long awaited title shot. In the main event, we had the return of Triple C Henry Cejudo versus current bantamweight champion Aljamain Sterling. It was going to be a high level chess match, but the only concern was whether Henry could still compete after 3 years out of the ring. All those questions were answered as the fight went on, and it went 25 minutes. Aljamain Sterling won a split decision victory over Henry Cejudo in an extremely competitive fight. Henry's takedown defense was impressive, but so was Aljamain's persistence. He took down Henry for 3 times, and it was only Henry's wrestling that prevented Aljo from taking his back. Cejudo also utilized his wrestlings, his inside trips, his single legs to take Sterling down multiple times. He wore down on his neck. Both guys were in tremendous shape going into the fight. Aljo surprised everyone with his awkward striking and his ability to take Cejudo down. He dictated the range as well. He was sharper with his kicks. His lateral movements didn't allow Henry to set up his shots. A fight with Sugar O'Malley was on the horizon, and Aljo did enough to secure the victory. And as for Henry Cejudo, in his own words, if I'm not first, then I'm last. That's pretty much his mindset. So the UFC fans might be wondering if Henry just might have retired once again. That was pretty much it. The UFC had better nights than this. It was a dull affair from beginning to end. Let me know in the comment section what you feel. And if you like the content, please like and subscribe to the channel.